Hi everybody, we're up here at the Gatehouse at Venetian Isles. Today is Tuesday the 17th in the afternoon, and I have a little break between today's activities and the Palermo board meeting tonight, so we have time to do a video to update you on what's going on in the community. You may think it's strange that we're standing up here at the Gatehouse. We're usually inside the Clubhouse or something like that, but we wanted to obviously share with you what's been going on with the paving project. The paving project is finally finished, and we're going to review a few things. First, Linty, if you can, turn around and take a picture over here of these stanchions that are in the middle. So right now what you have are these two hideous looking white and yellow stanchions that show you where the traffic divides. They are coming out. I know you're all going to ask me questions whether we're changing them or not. Yes, there are new ones that are coming back to go right down the middle of the road. Brand new, nice and clean looking yellow ones so that they're reflective at night. The other thing you will notice is that the road goes just the way the road did, but let's walk this way. As we go down, you will see that the merge is being reversed so that the merge now has the left lane merging into the right, and it doesn't do it till we get up to the Clubhouse. All of the things that were done in terms of paving the roads, putting in the speed bumps, taking out the stop signs, were done by a traffic engineer. The only thing that person does is specialize in taking care of traffic. They did an analysis of what the needs were of the community in terms of speed, accidents, things like that. They made their recommendations as to what had to be done. And even though Venetian Isles Boulevard is a private road past this gate, the county blessed all of that. For those of you that don't know, a resident probably 2 years ago went to the county and complained that we had the speed bumps right by the stop signs. When they were originally installed, that was not a problem. The ordinance in the city changed, I think October of 19 or something like that, where they needed to actually be 400 feet away from the stop signs. So we got in compliance with that and told them we'd be taking them out. Currently, the speed bumps are all in compliance with all of the county regulations, the Department of Transportation regulations, even though it's a private road. Again, none of this was a board decision. None of it was a management decision. There was nothing willy-nilly about it. Professionals that do this for a living came up with where the speed bumps are, how they were installed, and they supervised the entire process. The good news is Venetian Isles Boulevard is now a main thoroughfare again, so there are no more stop signs. There are speed bumps to control speed rather than trying to control people to stop. The stop signs are at all the intersections coming out of the communities, which is how it should be, because if you're coming out of the community onto a main road, you should know you need to stop and look both ways before you pull out into oncoming traffic, and that the traffic on the main road has the right of way. The nice thing is the roads are all beautiful. They have not striped here. They're going to do that because we're going to get our final inspection in a couple of days. We want to close out that permit. That being said, there have been a few people that have called about different things with the roads and whether or not they're tarred correctly, or they don't like seams or things like that. Again, an engineer was hired to supervise the entire process of putting in the roads, because I myself, I am the proclaimed expert about doing a million things here, but I don't build roads. So it would be silly for me to give you advice on how to build a road. I don't do that. The board knows nothing about building roads. So an engineer was hired to create the specifications for the roads and the resurfacing, including the amount that had to be milled off, the depth of the crushed concrete that had to go down, and all that kind of stuff. And they were here throughout the entire process, taking samples of what was done. They keep looking at the finished product, and they are basically telling us whether things are okay or not. And they are also talking to all county paving to make sure everything is done up to code and that everything is done as per our contract. So while you may think something doesn't look right, there's somebody with a lot more experience than any of us that is doing the right thing. Along with that, in terms of the traffic study, There are people that live in the community that have expertise in traffic studies. They did have a chance to review the traffic study, and they concurred with what was put in and suggested by the traffic engineer. In fact, if memory serves me correctly, the conversation was, finally, you're doing what I told you to do 5 years ago. So there shouldn't be any complaints about it. These speed bumps, the ambulance and everything else is getting over very easily. I will say we are a little disappointed because we're seeing people try to drive on the curb, to only have one wheel go over the speed bump. Not very smart, because all it's doing is screwing up the alignment to your car. By doing that, we are trying to check the license plates to see whether it's home health aides, Amazon delivery people, Chinese food delivery people, or if it's actually our residents. If it is actually our residents, at some point what will happen is we will start sending out notifications that you are breaking the rules. People will be fined. Their use of the amenities will be taken away. Things like that. Hopefully it's not necessary, because it is quite silly. And as people are angry and saying, well, you need to do something, you need to do something. Well, I can't manage stupid. If you're going to drive your car off the road to avoid a speed bump, I can't make you do what you're supposed to do. I just can't imagine that folks do that on the public roads out here, but maybe they do. We all see it all the time. So please don't concern yourself with that stuff. It will be dealt with over time. Enjoy the new roads and things like that. We're going to take a little break now, and we're going to rejoin you by the swimming pool for an update about that. All right, same day, same place. We've just walked over to the pool, and we are inside all of the security fencing, and we wanted to give you a peek at how nice it looks. It's very hot out here today and sunny. I would love to just jump into this pool, but just like I'm going to tell you not to, the chemicals that are in here right now are so caustic that they will literally burn your skin if you stay in there for a prolonged period of time. And it's going to be that way for at least 2 or 3 more weeks. The pump is up and running in here. There are issues with it that are being dealt with. It is a brand new pump. It's got to go back. As you hear that noise in the background, some of the ball bearings have an issue. We're going to take care of that. The reason I bring you out here is because I know some of you have been sneaking through here on the weekends and at night to take a peek, and I know you're all excited, and it is beautiful, but you really shouldn't be doing that because it's still not safe. If it were safe, we'd let you back here. As I said, there are a tremendous amount of chemicals in there right now, and it's not just chlorine and things like that. They're obviously dealing with treating the Diamond Bright, getting everything chemically balanced so that it is safe for people to bathe. Besides that, we still have to do the small pool. You see that they're working on that. We'll walk down to the resistance pool, which we can do. There's no reason to just stand here. Take a closer look at the pool. You can see we now have beautiful glass tile accents back in the gutter, along with this royal blue tile, no more green. And you look at the big differences, the water is not green, it's beautiful blue like it's supposed to be. So we're creating a whole nother atmosphere to tie in to the place for your enjoyment. Let's talk about when it's going to open, because I know the rumors are already out there that it's not going to open until the clubhouse opens. We had said we were shooting for July 4th. We are shooting for July 4th. July 4th is about 6 weeks away at the most at this point. If I were a betting man, I would say it's not going to be open July 4th, and I'll tell you why. Just like we still haven't got the air conditioner unit, that's now supposed to be here first week in July. We still don't have the breaker. That's now going to be here the 7th of July instead of the 31st. For the clubhouse, we have 2 sets of stairs that have to be replaced coming out of the sides of this pool. Our pool requires 4 steps instead of 3. We have not been able to find them. They've been working on it for months. They are ordered, but they're not even in the United States yet, which means they haven't landed any place in the United States to get trucked here and put in. So I doubt very much that those 2 stairs are going to be here before July 4th. We might be able to use 3 steps and get away with it. But the bigger issue that I'm thinking is going to be an issue, if you look around at all this fencing that's here, This is all temporary construction fencing. And over on this side, we still do have pool barrier fencing. In order for us to put in the pool barrier fencing, we require the plans to be stamped off by the landscape architect and then submitted to the county, permitted, and then once they're permitted, the company that makes the fencing will start to acquire the materials, make the fencing, andenize it this beautiful brown color, so we're not looking at this 6-foot white fencing anymore, and then they'll come install it. Well, if you remember anything of the videos, it took forever for us to get that aluminum up on there to put the glass railing in. It's basically the same company that's got to custom make the gates and things like that. The individual sections, not a big deal, but the gates are very specific in how they work and everything else. So my gut feeling is that there's no way we're going to be here for July 4th, because the chances of getting that drawing, getting it permitted, getting it manufactured, installed, and the ladders for this coming and everything working in the next 5 to 6 weeks in the current environment, I don't want to rain on your parade, but I think you should all make plans for 4th of July weekend to be doing something else. We are going to get it open as soon as we can. I'm also not sure that the building department is going to allow us to be right up on the building while the construction's still going on. Let's take a walk, like I said, down to the resistance pool so you can get a feeling of why that might be important. It's not really just about the pool, it's about a bunch of different things. The good news is the entire project back here should be ready for Labor Day, which is really, I know it's the end of the summer, but it's still long before everybody comes back for season, and you will have everything together at that point. Keep walking, faster, faster. Just because I don't want to fall into the pool, although it does look beautiful. Oh. So now we're starting to come up to an area that I think the building department will have a problem with allowing us to consider no life safety issue to anybody being on the pool deck. If you look at this area right over here by the resistance pool, pool's not filled yet. That's going to get diamond brighted and filled in plenty of time. You see that little area? There's only about 5 feet there, and at its widest point, it only gets up to about a diagonal of 8 feet away from the construction. You can see there's plenty of construction still going on here. So I can't imagine how some building department official is going to say, yes, push this fence back to the building and let people work up there, because if something falls off of there, it's not going to be a roof tile like we had originally, but somebody's working up there on electric or putting the canopy in or doing whatever, and it hurts somebody that's on the pool deck, there is no civil servant that's given up their pension because they let you have the pool early. So I do not think they're going to allow us to open with this temporary fencing here. They're going to want the fencing to be up around the whole perimeter, and eventually the building will be the third side to the fence. But right now, the whole awning coming off the building, the veranda, whatever you want to call it, is on the pool deck. And there's no way they're going to let you do that. So we're going to try. We're still trying. Everybody at Hedrick Brothers, the engineers, everybody knows the goal is to get you these pools as fast as possible. I just think at this point now, we're almost to June, I'm seeing the writing on the wall that I don't think this is going to happen in July. So I want you to be prepared so you can make other arrangements for the pool. It will definitely happen by Labor Day, because by that time, this is all finished. There's no way this shouldn't be finished by then. We may not have every last bell and whistle, but as long as that AC unit comes in and the electric panel comes in July, there would be no reason for us not to be ready by Labor Day for the building department to say, okay, you could take all this down and use this area. You may not be able to go in and have dinner in the restaurant because we may be missing some equipment or something like that, so they may not give us the CO, but we will be much closer. I'm not sure the last time that we did a video inside the building. You want to take a quick look inside the building while I'm here? We can. So shut it off a sec while we navigate through all the... All right, now we're in the clubhouse and it's after 4, so we don't have to have our hard hats on. Construction people are winding down for the day. There's just a couple of people here, but I figured we'd give you a look at a little bit of the progress that's going on. We're going to go in there for a sec. Here's something very small, but all the different clubs will be very happy to see that we now have mailboxes installed so that every club and organization will have a place for people to come, make payments for things, get information, pay their dues, things like that. So it's available 24/7. Also, if you look over here, the glass is now in the built-in trophies and display case. Your arts and crafts, your trophies, things like that will be in here. It's not lit up yet. Maybe down the hall it might be. You can see all the wires here, all the shelves light up. It truly is a step up from what we had before. And since it's buried in the wall and lights up, it actually makes the hallway look much, much wider. You also can take a look up top there and see that ProTech is working on putting in all the surveillance cameras. When the building opens, it has surveillance, video surveillance over every inch of every room, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So some of the other issues we might have had in the past regarding inappropriate behavior won't happen, or if somebody slips and falls, we'll have documentation of what happens. Let's look into the social hall. The last time we were in here, you saw the walls and you saw the trim up, but now you can see the color scheme. If you look over here, Lynthia, to my right, you can see the tone on tone, very subtle, beautiful, a lot of dimension going on, and it's a neutral palette that allows for us to have all kinds of events and parties with different themes without competing with the atmosphere. I'm sure you've already caught, and everybody's caught out of the corner of their eyes, the chandeliers, very different than what you had before. They are bright, they're energetic, they are in the corners or the 4 quadrants of the room so that you have unobstructed view of the stage, and even from the sound booth, there are no obstructions for a performance going on. Let's head down towards the card rooms. I think some of those light fixtures are in as well, so we can take a look at that. Not sure if the wallpaper was up the last time we walked through this hallway, but again, very nice. Looks like a grass cloth. It's actually commercial grade, cleanable, washable, textured vinyl in a gray on taupe pattern. So it's very neutral and very cleanable. Let's see. So the lights are not on in here, but you can see what the fixtures look like. At this point, we are standing in the card room. You see the fixtures. They look much nicer on. You can get a feeling for the light sconces that are on the wall. It all ties together. It's got a nice high-end, classy, timeless look to it. Any other parts that we want to show them? I would say to you that right now, we can go towards the lobby. Let's go just see if the library has the lights on those shelves. But we're not going to go to many other parts of the building because right now there is scaffolding all over the elevator to get the finishes fixed on that exterior of that. That's going to be another 4 weeks before that's done. Here's another built-in. Here's what the library looks like. Oh, one of the shelves is actually lit. So you can get a feeling for what that looks like. It's going to look much nicer once the fireplace, the mirror, the furniture, and the carpet are in. That's only a couple of more weeks. This is to mainly show you there is a lot of progress going on in the building, but obviously we can't open until we have the infrastructure parts that we need to get it done. Let's go past here. I'm sure they didn't see the wallpaper in the restaurant space. This is the scaffolding we're talking about. So again, for some people who have managed to sneak in the building, please do not do that, because if, God forbid, you get hurt by something falling or you yourself fall, there's nobody here to help you. You'll be laying here till the following day. It's just not worth that. You get to see the videos. We're going to be open soon enough. All right? Let's go in here. Oh, these lights aren't on. That's a shame. Yeah, this room looks a lot different. So this is the restaurant, snack bar, bistro space. Actually, it's the grill at Venetian Isles, I believe is what it's going to be called. This is where you will get breakfast and lunch and dinner. You'll be able to get food in other parts of the building, but this is the primary pay-as-you-go space. It is decorated like a French brasserie. It's not a snack bar. It's much more upscale than that. The prices are not astronomical. They are in line with what you're getting. Again, you're not going to get egg salad out of the Sally Sherman bucket slopped on a piece of lettuce on a paper plate. That's not what this is about. You're going to be getting fresh greens with a grilled piece of tuna, a grilled piece of salmon, or something like that. You will be able to get a hamburger. It's not going to be a Happy Meal hamburger. It's going to be quality food that you are proud to have and proud to invite your guests to join with you to show off your beautiful space. These light fixtures don't look like much right now. I have seen them on. There are a few more that are coming to add some more dimension. It's actually a beautiful art installation that all lights up. The interior of all those rings lights up. And then that also works with this wallpaper. If you look at this wallpaper right now, you're like, okay, what was somebody thinking? When the place is lit up and all the furniture's in, that will make a lot more sense. Down here, I think you can see, I'm not sure it was here the last time, the beginnings of the open air kitchen. The kitchen's obviously on the other side of this black structure. The glass still has to go on. The metal cabinetry has to be all built. But it is moving along. We will be done sooner rather than later. The things that are holding us up now are things that are just beyond our control. But I am quite confident that sometime in the fall you're going to have this space as well as your pool back. It's well worth the wait. And I will check back in with you in another week or so. Have a great week.